Hello friends, and welcome to our channel, Mornings at Sunrise Cottage. My name is Vicki Ann, and today we will be taking you to Missouri. We are going to visit the Ingalls Wilder Museum, her home place, the Rock House, and the gift shop. Now, we're only allowed to do exterior videoing except for the gift shop because they make their own videos of the inside. They're currently working on that. And they don't want to spoil the surprise. So, here we go, visiting the museum and the gift shop. This is the exterior. It was a beautiful museum. We visited there a few years ago, but we were not doing videos then. So we had to come back and video this beautiful, beautiful museum that honors Ingalls Wilder, her life, her home, and her family, and her writing. I'm swinging around here so you can get an idea of what everything looked like. You came in down to the left. Then we're looking directly at the museum, and I want to show you all around. And hey, there's our family with us. Hi Robin, Chase, and Jude. Now, you'll see something that may look to you like weeds in front of the museum, but it is not weeds. It's a beautiful butterfly garden. Former First Lady Rosalind Carter worked to develop a butterfly trail. It ends right here in Mansfield, Missouri. These are all wildflowers in here. Everything from echinacea to just plain old clover. But it will be blooming throughout the spring and the summer. And there's also various grasses in this. Oh, and there's some milkweed. Bee balm, and I think that's called cardinal flower. But when you start looking at it, you can see that there are lots and lots of different flowers in there. And of course those native grasses that I mentioned a while ago. And look at the beautiful echinacea. And this handmade seat over here, just what someone my age needs as we're walking up that hill. And it had bricks here where people had donated, and when they donated to help this project along, they got a brick down there, and I thought that was so nice. Here we're coming up on the side, and I loved this big old door. Look at this barn door. And when they closed it, it would close over the entire front glass section. Now, we'll go into the gift shop so you can see what they have. We are going into the gift shop at the Ingalls Wilder Museum. And here is the Pioneer Girl. And they have lots of books. These seem to be either by Rose Wilder Lane, who is the daughter of Ingalls Wilder, or about her. And then here is the Rose Years little house on Rocky Ridge. They've got some bracelets here, and they've got quotes on the bracelets from Laura and Rose. They've got some book plates. I'm going to kind of scan over so you can see the books that they offer here. Now there's a picture of Charlotte Stewart, who played Nellie on Little House on the Prairie. And these are handmade. And here's the videos. No? Yes, there's the videos. Season 1 here. They have some note cards, necklaces. Oh, they have these. These are really nice. This is what the stone house kind of looks like, and this is the original home place. And that's another one, so they've got some really good gifts here. They've got some cups and candles. And this is in Mansfield, Missouri. And look at that cup, isn't that cute? And look at the hat. Oh, I like that hat. And here are some children's books. And they also have the sets.
She's through the double doors. Just a moment. She'll be right back out.
I see her.
They have some plush animals.
I just followed that path up here.
And lithograph art from books. Look at this. That's really neat. Oh, and look here, the Laura doll. And they have caps. And many, many related books here. So if you want to get your fix of Laura Ingalls Wilder, you need to come here and check out the books, the entire gift shop, and the home place, and the rock house. They've got lots of sets of books if you want a complete set. And here's something that's always neat. You can get you a Christmas ornament here. They have like kind of one, I guess you would call that would be like Pa's Fiddle. Yeah, that's what it's called in fact. Farmer Boy, Little House on the Prairie. They have all kinds. And here's a bread and bun warmer. And they have some seeds up here. They have a cookbook and a locally made pot holder with the picture of the house on it. Oh, and look at these, how cute. Looks just like the clothing that Laura wore in the movie Little House on the show's Little House on the Prairie. These are just darling. They are so cute. They have them in all colors. And they've got like a pinafore, I think it's called, pinafore over it. And they've got some, look at these, how cute. These are beautiful. They have some timelines here of the Little House series.
There's a street back on your left. There's a cabinet where you can see jams and jellies.
And then they have lots of t-shirts. If you want a t-shirt so you can remember your trip here. Real pretty. Okay. Over here. They have some artwork.
Here's the living room.
Oh, and look at the cute hat. More seeds, and these are from Baker Creek that we visited yesterday. And look at this counter. This looks like a very, very antique counter. You would imagine you would see if you went into a store many years ago. And then they have quilted books, and they have some quilt patterns. And this is the cutest thing ever. It's a sampler, cross-stitch sampler. Then they have a book actually by Melissa Gilbert. And they have the Ingalls family. They have a story about them all, and a little miniature fiddle. And they have this really beautiful throw. That's really pretty. Another painting here. Artwork. Love that red hat. And then lots more books on this side.
Yes. That's 6 in there. Here.
And if you're thirsty, they have drinks, some candy.
Would you like receipts?
Yes, please.
And then they have a Little House Book of Wisdom. And that finishes up our tour. Now, as we walk on up to do our tour of the Laura Ingalls Wilder home place, where she and Almanzo moved when they first came here, they actually built a small cabin first that sits back and to the left of the home that you're seeing now. And then they added a room to that cabin. Later, when they started to build this, they put logs under the addition that they had put onto the cabin, and they rolled it down, and that became the kitchen in the home. This is such an interesting home. They built this themselves. They may have hired some help, I'm not sure. But Laura was very petite. So they built the cabinets and different things in the home to work with her height. I found that so fascinating as I walked through this house and saw the many things that they did that made this house special. The kitchen had cabinets all built with her height in mind. It had a pass-through from the kitchen to the dining room where she could pass all of her food through, walk around, pick it up, and set it on her table. On the first floor, which is what you can see, you go into Laura's beautiful kitchen. She lived here until I think 1956. And this home took them, I believe they said, 17 years to fully complete. They built it one part at a time as they could afford it. After you go through the kitchen, well, actually you enter into like a porch area and then you go into the kitchen. Through the kitchen you go into the dining room. And I'm just kind of giving you a view here of the entire property or part of the property. And from the dining room with the tour you go into a bedroom, and off the bedroom was a bathroom to the left. It was a roomy bathroom. You went through the bedroom and you went into Laura's office, where her desk is still sitting there and different papers that she used. But they told us that Laura didn't always work in the office. This was mainly where she did her bills and things like that. She wrote all over the place, just anywhere she felt like writing here. You went from her writing, from her office, up 4 steps, I believe it was, to a landing. Then you went down 4 steps and you were in her living room. Now to the right of this, there was a small room that had her piano in it, and she also had a sideboard there, or buffet. Then the living room had a nice fireplace. It was decorated really nice. Oh, right here you're seeing the grapes. Robin and I were checking out these grapes. They had grapes on one side of the door, honeysuckle on the other. Anyway, getting back to my story, then to the right of the front half of the living room, they had a beautiful built-in library. And a lot of her rooms in this later part of the home were influenced by the works of Frank Lloyd Wright. Now, we didn't get to go upstairs, but I read somewhere else that they had 2 bedrooms and a bath upstairs. Now, Robin Chase, Jude, and Laura Ingalls Wilder are now on the front porch. How nice of them. They put a life-size cutout of her there so we could have our pictures taken with her, and we certainly enjoyed that. Now this is the view from her front porch. And now we've turned back around because I wanted to show you her fireplace, the chimney from the outside. Wasn't that pretty? A beautiful rock fireplace. Now we're starting to walk back down to our car because from here we have to walk back, get in the car, and drive about half a mile up the road to the Rock House, which is a home that their daughter Rose had built for them. And you know, Rose was a very famous writer, and she became famous before Laura Ingalls Wilder became famous. In fact, she encouraged her mother to start telling the stories of her childhood and how they moved here and how she and her dad set up their homestead. So we're going to go there next. And Laura Ingalls Wilder's daughter Rose was Rose Wilder Lane. So you might pick up some books about her or that she has written. Now I'm following Granddad and Jude as they go to the car. Here we are walking up to the rock house. It has the most beautiful views. I think you're going to love this house. In fact, I could just move in here and feel right at home. Look at the beautiful rock house. If you will notice, the house is trimmed in some color of green, but I love this color. It suits this house perfectly. And we're walking up to the house. And if you'll notice, the front windows are gorgeous on this house. I wanted to give you a little close-up of the stone so that you could see what it really looked like. And so you could see the green. And these front windows, oh my goodness. And look at this view. Now, Laura Ingalls Wilder, I think they said that she lived here maybe 8 years. And then she moved back. They moved back to their other house. I believe that they said this house cost around $12,000 to build. And that was a tremendous amount for that time. It was either a Sears home or based on a Sears plan. I never really did get the gist of which one it really was. But look at this door. Here was the garage, perfectly matched to the house. This house had special touches throughout the house. Here is the back porch on the house. And they had a type of rainwater catchment system where the water ran off the roof and then ran down and was caught in a basin type thing that they had set up there. And these are the windows on the other side from where we went in. These are the living room windows. Beautiful windows and beautiful stonework. And you notice the windows have brick underneath them, and this was the basement, so they had a basement. Inside the house they had, on the first floor, a living room, a beautiful living room, a dining room, a kitchen, a bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. Then upstairs they had 2 bedrooms and another bath, but we did not get to see the upstairs. Now I'm walking you back around toward the front of the house. And I get in close here because some of this stone almost looked like there was quartz in the stone. I hope you can see that in the picture. Even the closets were unusual. They had specially built-in drawers that I thought was really neat. And look at this canopy of trees around. And they had a lot of walnut trees. But again, this is my favorite part. And they had like a patio, but it was a yard, like part of their lawn. It was a lawn patio or a grass patio. And they had a cute little window up over the other windows there. I thought that was really neat. And on the inside, it had a fireplace, and it had some of the furniture that they use there. Now, when she moved back to the other house, which she did after her husband died, and I guess she just missed the home where they lived together. So she moved back into her other home, and she rented this for a while and ended up selling it eventually. But the association who runs this place, they ended up purchasing this back from the people that she had sold it to. So that's how today we get to take these tours. But the one thing I really wanted to show you is this front door. I think this is a most unique front door. It's arched at the top, has a little window in it, and look at all the metal work on the door. Wouldn't you just like to move in here? Now, if you want to see more about this house and the homes that she lived in and learn more about her, go to the Laura Ingalls Wilder Museum on the internet. Just Google that, and there are some videos where they actually take you inside of her first home there. And it's conducted by a really nice lady who actually did our tour the day we were there. Now we're going around the side of the home. This first window at the bottom was Laura's room. Then the smaller window in the middle was the bathroom. And look at that ivy, isn't that pretty? Now the window that you're seeing to the right of the ivy was Almanzo's room. And now we're back at the back of the house again. And this first door came out of Almanzo's room, and the top part of it actually opens, so the window opens out. And then the other door back there goes back into the kitchen, and you can go down to, there's a door straight in front of it, and you can go down into the basement. So that finishes our exterior tour of the rock house today. And what we did later, we took a couple photographs, we walked back to her car and went back to the museum again, where I purchased some items. I bought 3 of her books, and I bought a cookbook with her recipes in it that I am so excited to try. And then we took some pictures. They lived in the Wilder house from 1928 to 1936. In 1928, after living abroad for several years, Rose Wilder Lane returned to her childhood home on Rocky Ridge Farm. With her proceeds from her writings, Rose built her parents a modern house. The keys were presented to Laura and Almanzo on Christmas Day. And this is where that Laura Ingalls Wilder first started writing the Little House books, which made her famous. With a pencil on 5-cent tablets, she completed the following books: Little House in the Big Woods, Farmer Boy, and several others here. So as you get to look back in some additional pictures that I took and Neil took while we were here, let me ask you to please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button, and tell us what you like the best about this tour in the comments. Friends, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you will join us again next Tuesday when we will be visiting Baker Creek Seeds. We're so excited to show you that. One of my very favorite places that I have ever been. And if you get a chance and you go to Branson in Missouri, make sure to stop by the Laura Ingalls Wilder Museum and check out her 2 homes that she used to live in. You will definitely find it very interesting. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you that this is the first of at least 8 videos focusing on special places in Missouri that we have visited. May God bless you and your family. And thanks again for watching. Bye, friends.